Yo, yo, yo. We are back. It's Twin City Sports, episode 7. Episode 7, man. We got a special guest in the building. Man. St. Paul legend, man. So I'm just going to get into it, man. What's your name? Where are you from? And what made you pick up a basketball?
Raijon Kelly, St. Paul, Minnesota. And my reason for picking up a basketball is basically on my chest, Jimmy Lee. My grandpa, my dad, you know what I mean? And that rec center for real.
What is like, since you kind of on that, we kind of had a question about that. We might as well get to that Jimmy Lee question right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to.
See, you already know what's
we got to, because he popped it off with it.
I've been trying to tell people for ages, man. The best kids from St. Paul, out of the state of Minnesota, really all came from Jimmy Lee, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a few sprinkled out everywhere else, but the majority group of stars, I'm talking about from back in the day to currently, is from the league.
Jimmy Lee, to me, is one of those, it's a battlegrounds like, oh, my son can play a little bit. Go to Jimmy Lee. Or you want to be good? Go to Jimmy Lee and figure it out.
Yeah.
So it was like tough kind of playing over there.
This coach is here. They can play. Jimmy Lee is normally outside court, inside court. You want to play football? Baseball was okay. Okay, it's winter. Let's play basketball.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, now I see where my son, even my daughter, where we at with it. So I think Jimmy Lee is kind of, for a long time, I don't know about now. I'm older and haven't been around as much, but let's see how good you really are.
Right. It's like the stomping grounds, the proving grounds. You had to really kind of.
For sure. Okay. I mean, it didn't matter how old you were, how good you used to be, how good you're about to be. Is, you know what I mean? It's really chest to chest.
Facts.
From a random open gym, night moves back in the day, team night. You know what I mean? Like
night moves is crazy.
Like I said,
night moves is vicious.
Depending on which era you really grew up in, you've seen a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather the ones who made it, even some of the guys who didn't, dogs. Some of the women, dogs.
So for sure.
It's a lot. It's hectic.
It's a lot of 1,000-point scores, high school scores that played at Jimmy Lee for sure.
It's football players, it's baseball players, it's track stars.
Yeah, just saying though, just on basketball though, for sure though. It's a lot of them because I'm sure didn't Angel play for Jimmy Lee?
Nah.
Oh, she didn't play for Jimmy Lee.
No, she was a MLK.
Sugar Storm.
Sugar Storm.
She was MLK.
That was like MLK girl. Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. If you was at MLK, you was at Jimmy Lee. If you was at Jimmy Lee, you was at MLK. Whichever open gym you could get to. If you had a bike, I mean, there was one point I lived across the street from MLK.
Still,
I'm in that gym too. So I mean,
that gym is legendary.
The way the rec center dynamic is in St. Paul, Minneapolis too, but the way the rec center is like, where you from? Which rec center?
Literally. Back in the day,
I'm from MLK. Oh, okay, I'm from Jimmy Lee. Oh,
back in the day, you go to a rec center to take over. And then people be like, where you play at? Where you from? You be like, yeah, I'm from Jimmy Lee. Like, oh, sick. Like, oh, I do it. That
was rec center banging. That's crazy.
Took over.
Yeah, but it's real though. It's like territorial. Yeah, that's really what it is.
When we were coming up, like rec ball was like a serious thing. Like, we from sixth grade and under.
People took rec
ball. That rec
like,
center, like, it didn't matter. Rice Street, Shefford, Duluth in case, McDonough.
All had teams
your rec
too.
center, like, you was repping that, and you know what I mean? You said that with your chest. Like, no, that's where I'm from.
No, you're not lying, man. Like,
we only played 2 years of that, though. My dad said after 4th grade, he was like, yeah, we out of here. It was too easy in that city that 4th grade year. That 3rd grade year was a little tough.
But you know what? And me playing with you guys,
playing. Of
course,
up.
I always played up. I advocate for that no matter the scenario in any sports situation, boy, girl, football, baseball, swimming, play up, or you know what I mean? But I kept playing city after we stopped. I was playing 3 grades up with my big brother. So, you know what I mean? That city basketball really meant something to me because, you know what I mean? I'm the jersey too big, the shorts hanging on the floor, but you know what I mean?
I'm out there playing with Pop's team too. That was crazy. I remember that. We used to be in practice going crazy on them.
Not all that's next level.
My dad would never let me play with them, though. I used to hate that range. I used to go kill with them. I used to be like, I can go kill with them.
But you know what? That was like the ultimate, like for me, that was my first, like, oh, I'm on to something. Yeah. Being like, parents coming up like, man, everyone knows my dad, Raijon Kelly Jr. Yo, who's him? Like, yo, he's nice. Oh, that's my son. for 6th grade, he pretty good. And my dad be like, no, he in the 3rd grade. And everybody just, oh. So I'm sitting there like, you know what I mean? That little swagger comes like, okay, I'm on to something. And my dad saw something and my grandpa, and then it kind of snowballed from there. Like,
so you
might be all right.
Wicked.
So your dad was like a real influence on your life then when it comes to basketball and all that.
I mean, early on, he was, you know how it's your dad. You know what I mean? Superman.
Yeah.
So, and then also, I learned a lot from him. You know, swag. Hey, K, everybody knows him. So everywhere we go, handshakes, hugs. He's a man. You know what I mean? The city was his when he went, you know, to Cretin. And, you know, he's still doing this thing with music and everything like that. So he was like, that tone set, like, he set the tone, like, that's how you handle yourself. If you want to put the ball in the hoop, this is how you're going to do it.
Okay.
You're going to be thorough about what you're going to do. And you're going to look good while you do it, because I'm going to put them, you know what I mean, them nice shoes on your feet, and you're going to handle your business.
Oh, that's real. And that kind of brings me into, like, kind of what I was going to ask you first. Like, why did you go to Cretin? Like, and was, like, at any other school going to be your option before you? Because I'm sure you could have went anywhere in the state.
So my grandfather, he worked at Cretin since the 90s. Okay. So my dad went to Cretin. I was born, I was there when my dad won the state championship, physically there. So early parent. So Jerry Klein, the coach there now, that's like uncle. He held me after they won. So my grandpa works there. So when it's time for my team summit, they're done. Dusty and them's team, you know what I mean? Everyone's going off to high school and everything. But I left even before that. We're practicing at Cretin. Mm-hmm. I know the whole staff. I'm at the football games. So Cretin was kind of like, you know the vibes.
It's already like kind of home already for you.
Sure. And I was telling my mom, I'm going to Cretin. Like, before I even started junior high at Washington. Like, no, I'm going to Cretin. Like, she was like,
for real though, I want to make this like a thing though. Like, on the real, every kid dream from St. Paul was to go to Cretin.
You think so?
A lot of them, like,
I used to talk about. I think we all used to talk about. I know me, you, and Bo used to talk about that because Bo big brother Muggsy went there his freshman year. He was in there, and then of course I was watching my dad's former players, Marcus, Rashad Powers, Niels, Joe Mauer, all them go crazy there. So shoot, I'm like, all I do is watch Cretin. I really rarely watch Central. We watch Central here and there, but I rarely watch Central games growing up. So all I really knew was Cretin. Just like you, like, it was really more. I wanted to, but when it came down to it, it was like, that price.
No, that was crazy, though. Because, like, Cretin, like you said, like, a lot of kids did talk about this because you used to get, like, they used to, like, recruit people damn near. Like, people, like, the mentality was you killing the AAU game, Cretin going to be like, hey, come to Cretin. That was a lot of people. I'm telling you, he's not lying. But going back on that, was it, like, if you didn't go to Cretin, what would be your second option?
To keep it real, there was no second option.
There was always
but if I had to, like, really think about it, one of my good friends, Eston Tyler, we played together growing up on that summit team for my grandpa. Mm-hmm. He was trying to get me to go to Johnson, and, like, I was like, if Cretin don't work out, it's going to. But he was talking me into going to Johnson. I was like,
that would have been crazy.
So, you know what I mean? I was trying to get him to come to Cretin.
That would have been crazy.
You know what I mean? We were trying to figure that out, but
I think that would have been crazier, honestly.
If it was anywhere else, it probably would have been Johnson. But I knew I wasn't going anywhere else for real. I mean, I made the decision early.
Right.
And then my grandpa was making sure, like, he told me, and I love my grandpa to death, ultimate disciplinarian. He was like, I can't get you in if you don't have your grades. Okay. And he was like, do you know how many, in being the truth teller he is, do you know how many amazing athletes try to apply to Cretin and can't? And we look at their transcript, and every time, no. And he was just like, I don't care. Like, yes, you're my grandson. Okay, your dad went here, but if your grades, I can't sidestep that.
Right.
So 7th and 8th grade, I'm be honor roll student of the weeks because I'm going over and beyond to make sure, like, no, all right, I did my part, and then it was time to take that test, and I'm in the door. So
it's crazy. It sounds like you get into college and he's talking about high school.
But you know what?
I got denied.
That's how you know. See, that's just crazy,
Behavior,
man.
not grades.
But you know what? Like, But that's what made me want to go to Cretin, because like being around, of course, before even junior high, I'm around Cretin.
Right.
The status quo was college.
Yeah.
There is no JUCO, because
that's
not. It's either kids are fortunate enough to pay for. We're gonna pick where we want. Mm-hmm. You go to Cretin for sports, it's a scholarship. I'm gonna pay for high school to not pay for college. So for me, it was like that environment was like, I want to like a bunch of like-minded dudes where I'm doing this, like I love the game, it's cool, get you little chicks or whatever. Yeah. But we going to college, dog. Like this is just a stop. And for me, Cretin was really a business decision. If I wanted to have fun and like be cool and be fly, I would have went to Central. But Cretin, I knew I wanted to hoop. Damn. But no disrespect to Central. But you feel me? Like
we just took a big straight.
Hey, Central just hey.
Go. Oh my God.
Hey, but I'm keeping it real though.
Me and him both trying to play it out. Wait, what? I hear you.
Hold on, but let me say this though. Hold on, but let's keep it real though. How good would those teams, basketball alone?
Yeah.
How good would those teams have been if everybody was eligible?
It's different.
Think about your junior year.
It's different at Central. I feel like that wasn't even an eligibility problem.
It was people. We had some of that, but it was people that just wouldn't play just because of
certain
coaching.
But
you feel me? But think about like if
I hear you.
Every dude who really like was nice, could play, was disciplined, was like really. I'm coming to Central to hoop.
If our
team,
you know how
good
together,
our senior year.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
Think if our whole team
that would have been crazy.
That we had from 3rd and 4th grade went to Central. If Scott was smart, he'd have came and recruited a whole dynasty.
That'd have been different.
Our senior year player of the year is Maxie Rosenblum.
See, yeah, I know.
He's the reason why people wasn't playing, but
him why he left.
Look, so I don't know if this is on. I don't know. It's all right. When it's time to apply for high school, I went to Washington. And it's time, and then they're like, "All right, where you gonna go?" I wrote Cretin. What's your second or third option? Blank. Just I might have been a little arrogant, whatever. So then it's time. The first day comes. We start at Cretin maybe a week or two early, and then I get a letter in the mail. They're like, "Yo, where you like? You haven't applied to Central yet. Like this is where you're gonna go." So Scott calls my mom. Like, "Yo, what's up? What are you doing?" And she like, "Cretin, like we good." He like, "No," and he kind of a little ruckus. Like, what you mean? He's applied. He's like, the city placed him here. Your address is here. Like, come on. And my grandpa shut that down quick. And like, no disrespect to Central, but I was at Jimmy Lee when all them dudes who didn't make the team or all them dudes who had their situations would come down and play after school when they didn't make the team. And I heard all the stories. And I seen all that talent that would come and play in the open gym. And you're like, "Yo, why you ain't on the team?" And you're like, and then so of course me being young and observant. Oh, that's what it is? I'm good.
I definitely think it's some situations like that, but I can attest to people who I know who at the time basically you could say they could do certain things better than me on the court. Tryouts come. These dudes look like little kids out there. They can't. It's like they brain shut off, 100%. And that happens a lot. 100%. That's why I will say that happens a lot. But I do agree. There were certain people where I saw them try. I'm like, why did he make the team? Like, so I get it for sure.
The amount of talent I've seen walk through just Central's doors alone, like, yo, state tournament, and I was just like, if that's the environment up there, now mind you, I don't know.
Right.
I never stepped foot to go to school there, but from outside looking in, no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to y'all went. I can't talk crazy about it, but it wasn't for me.
Right.
It wasn't.
Nah,
I mean, okay.
It's not disrespect. We get it. Trust me.
Okay, think about. I watched the episode with Langford Jr.
Yeah.
About to lead the conference all time in scoring, right? 2,000.
He can get it,
and he don't know how many points he got. I'm sorry. He knows, but they got his books wrong. 60 points. That's a lot. You know what I mean? Like, and this is just me listening to.
That's a big difference.
That's a huge difference. especially from a kid, you got something to want to do something all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
He said when he scored 1,000 points, the book people for Central didn't even tell Humboldt that he's that close to scoring his 1,000 points.
How often do you get 1,000-point scores in high school anyway?
You don't. There's plenty of schools that go without 4 years without probably only getting one.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, that's next level.
No, my AD got to be raising hell for that because I got 1,000-point score. I gotta
uplift him.
I have to throw it through the roof because who else is watching? That 6th grader, that 8th grader. I need kids to know. No, this is where you want to go to school at. Mm-hmm. This and Cretin was that for me.
Oh, that makes sense. Speaking of high school and all that,
Speak on that. Why is Cretin a good school to go to, especially, and let's keep it real, for young black athletes?
I think with Cretin it's a challenge, and it's a different environment, and that's why I think it's great to test yourself. Mm-hmm. People think, oh, you had Cretin and you hoop and it's easy. Oh, like when I went to Cretin, dog, I did work study, like to pay for. Of course, you try to get a scholarship, or financial aid. I did work study, so every day, before practice, it didn't matter how cold it is today, 0 degrees. After school, I'm emptying out. I'm going to the lunchroom. I got to throw out trash. My little cousin Jamar got to sweep the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I mean, if on Saturdays, I got to come on Saturdays and do like more chores, pretty much doing work study. So
I'm saying, like, it's a grind.
You feel me? But of course, if you just see the private school and
you
know what I mean, the nice gym, the good Nike uniforms, and it's basically a college, like it's a college prep, and that's how I saw it. But it was like, no, it was really, that's why you hear so many dudes, I went for 1 or 2 years and I left. Or it didn't work out, or something happened, or
they had a discipline.
So it's really the survival of the fittest. Yeah. And for me, if I go back playing with you guys, playing up, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Do you have it or do you not? And Cretin was 4 years of that. Yeah. All 4 years, I'm throwing out trash. -2. My team used to wait on me. Raijon got to do his thing for work study. Saturdays, I'm coming in. I'm in charge of detention as I get older, but like, yo, I got to sweep the floors, dump trash. I'm teaching, you know what I mean? I'm teaching people how to sweep and how to mop. You know, some of them kids was a little rich and they have chores, but it's like, yo, like Cretin is the ultimate test of, you know what I mean, what you really made of.
Right.
You go to lunch, you see a kid pull out 100. I'm starving, I'm broke. You know what I mean? Like that environment is like, yo, survival of the fittest.
Right.
No, that makes sense, man. And just speaking on, you know, going back to the basketball stuff and just, you know, Cretin everything, what is your favorite basketball moment for Cretin? And then you can say college, pros if you want to, but for sure for Cretin.
For my favorite moment at Cretin, the 1,000 points. I outscored my dad. A small, that was
yeah.
Everyone in the city tells me, yo, AK, your dad was nice. Respect for sure.
And but you know what he gonna tell you.
For sure. But it was like, he was like, you don't score enough. So when I outscored him, you know what I mean? That's when you, what's up? You know what I mean? What up? That was a big thing for me. Outscoring him. I finished 3rd all time. But going to state. My coach, Jerry Klein, I think that was his first time as a head coach going to state. So that meant something for me, for him, you know what I mean? Because that relationship always been there, still is to this day.
That was junior year?
Senior year. That was senior year.
Was, we lost to Stillwater, Deshantrell, Gus Galen, Elliot Owusu, Clay Horn.
Yeah, I remember we scrimmaged all that year. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all don't understand.
Is that when
we can talk about it now.
Is that when they had Central the big dude? That's what you did the spin. He did the spin move on him. He's like, oh no, he couldn't. No, he didn't move.
No, I said okay. I said we're gonna have to switch it up here.
He said, oh.
I said, we're gonna have to switch it up here. The bully game.
I remember that shit. I'm like, oh.
I see what's going on. We're gonna have to be quick today.
Yo, because I love y'all, you feel me? And
yeah.
Like everyone from Jimmy Lee went to Central. and I knew you went. You feel me? Like I knew everyone there. You feel me? So I'm like, I don't remember me missing no more than 2 shots, just out of pure excitement. You know what I mean? And we were never gonna play y'all for real.
No.
And y'all played so hard. I loved it. Y'all played defense, the extra fouling, and the physicality. Y'all shook a couple of my teammates, but I mean, I'm talking.
I remember because Gus and them know what's up with me. I just played with Gus that summer. And Chantrell, I've been battling Chantrell. Oh, of course, I know. I knew what I told my team. That's why we were so physical. I said, "Hey, we gotta come." I know what's going on. I said, "They got Raijon over there. I know he finna go at take something crazy." Just because I remember.
I remember, yeah. I remember you were saying it before.
I already know Martin not going to be able to deal with Chantrell. That's what I really knew. So I'm like, I'm going to eventually have to deal with Chantrell. But Martin did start on Chantrell, and I was on Gus at first. So I was like, I'm going to be – me and Gus used to, go out and practice. So I'm like – but I used to edge him in practice. So I'm like, I'm going to turn it up even a little more because – Coach Ben in the summer used to turn me down.
Fury, right? Yeah,
don't be on that with them. Like, and I used to be in practice like you, just getting on them, just Jubilee stuff, So I'm on their heck, so I'm like, I'm gonna get on him a little early. I'm gonna shake him a little early, and then that's how I'm gonna try to even it out. But he right though, he was going crazy. I'm like,
he was, yeah.
I gotta pick it up too. So now we got to press, we got to trap, so we got to get the ball out of his hands.
It was the joint
ball out of his hands
right before sections, right?
Yeah, that was sections.
It was at Cretin. I remember.
It was on that little it wasn't the main court, it was the side court.
The one on the side, yeah.
And I just was like,
almost got kicked off the team that day because Coach I was like, it'd always be me and Coach. I say shit so he can hear.
And I'm sitting there like,
he was like, his coach was like, Coach I was like, yeah, let me get my bottom guys in there. I was like, I ain't no bottom guy. He was like, you gonna get in there? I was like, no, I ain't. I was like, and he looked at me and I was like, all right.
So look.
He was OC. Son said bottom guy. I was like, who the fuck is it?
So he says it.
Man.
Mind you, this is like later in the scrimmage.
It's later, yeah.
My swag's on a million.
Yeah.
I turned to my teammates. Let's go. Look at that. Look at him. That's why I ain't go to I'm talking crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look at him. Me and my grandpa just sitting there. He just like.
Yeah. Because I've been asking everybody this. What is your personal top 5 for Cretin all time? I asked Tay Smalls. Y'all gonna his surprised me.
So, dog, there's so many. I'm gonna exclude myself.
Real one. That's what Twan did.
Myself. So at the 5, I'm gonna go Daniel Laturo.
That's nice.
But while I was overseas, I came back before I signed to go to Lithuania. I was low-key helping out. So I seen that championship roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I seen Daniel early. And I said long arms, dunk everything.
Dunk everything.
But then it was for me, you when you physically gifted, it comes easy. Minnesota's not, high wire, electric, super athletic state. So of course, if you're athletic, you get the upper. You know what I mean? But then it was him catching, step out, fade away, double team comes, spin, fade away, hook, left, right.
He's nice.
Said, I knew high major early.
Yeah.
So that's my 5. The 4, I'll probably put my dad. 2 state championships, Mr. Basketball finalist.
Resume speaks for itself.
Long resume. For sure. Metro, I think he won Metro Player of the Year.
Lots of buckets.
We'll put him at the 4. See, and the guard rotation gets shaky. I would go Steve Sir. I don't know. I can't remember what position I think he was a 2. The way he shot the ball.
Steve Sir. You know what class he was? I'll look it up.
2000s.
Okay.
Steve.
Steve Sir.
He shot the leather off the ball. I think he was all time at Cretin. But I think he's a 2, if I'm not sure. Had a flamethrower though. I still hear stories about him shooting the ball. The point guard is probably the trickiest. I might be biased, but I like Lanil. I heard
Lanil.
I heard nothing but great things from my grandpa, and that means something. my grandpa speaks highly of ability.
Mm-hmm.
And I never seen him personally, but I mean, of course, in his heyday,
Not in his prime, yeah.
But even out of his prime, you know what I mean, the older Lanier was like
still dangerous.
You know
Certain
what I'm saying?
days.
And it was just that's a whole nother story within.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, I like Ryan Larson, Red Gresham. Those three are like my toss-up point guards. And I'm a little biased because I'm not as old and didn't watch. You know,
of course, some of the back
before.
in the day.
Yeah.
So
I like Ryan Larson too, though.
Man, Ryan Larson. Good luck staying in front of him. I think where is he at now? I think he's in Lithuania cooking.
Getting buckets. He was so quick.
Man, that 3 spot. I'll go Sam Newman, all-time leading scorer at Cretin.
Okay. We gotta look him up.
You want to say shoot the ball? He went to Montana State or the University. I think it was Big Sky Conference.
Big Sky Conference.
Yeah.
Let it fly. He was one of the only dudes that played as a freshman. Cretin playing as a freshman wasn't a thing.
Wasn't the thing.
I had to play freshman basketball.
Oh, yo, really?
Yeah, so I went straight from freshman to varsity.
They under the humble yourself quickly.
But you know what?
But it works.
It was really it wasn't even a Cretin thing. It was like my grandpa. For me personally.
Okay.
And even my dad, he told me, man, like he could have walked in and played varsity. But even with me, my grandpa was like, nah.
You need to learn some more.
Bottom of the barrel type.
Okay.
Get it out the mud mentality. And he wouldn't even let me play B squad. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, come on, Gramps, like, what's up?
Right.
He goes, nah, you'll be all right. Varsity ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But the Cretin starting 5, man, I feel like you could get 6 different answers on how old the person is you ask.
That's real. That's honestly true what you just said there. Depends on who you ask. This different era, you might get a different answer.
Yeah, especially for a school where people go there to play sports.
Yeah, it's a real.
Going here to play basketball.
I don't know why you
There's
don't have a football field still.
Athletes.
They got a football field, but they should have a stadium for night.
Like, that's what I mean. Like an actual,
Think about it. It's a finesse. We could play at St. Thomas.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that happened, man. I played Raijon in what was that? That was our 8th grade year for sure. Is that 7th grade or 8th grade?
I think it was 8th grade.
It was 8th grade. It was 8th
What
grade.
was this,
Yep.
Highland versus who?
It was Highland Junior High versus. Was it Washington? He was doing with the Washington.
When it was the middle school.
Middle school. Yep. As soon as he walk in, X and Vonnie like, oh, it's Raijon. I'm like, why is he here? He know somebody on the team or something? No, he got the jersey on. He's playing. I ain't gonna talk about what he did in the game. He had he knows how many points he had. But long story short, it was a close game. It was a close game. It was a close game.
I had 39, dog.
All right, damn. He had 39. It was a close game still. So
Respect.
there's a couple seconds left. You know how somebody you already know he's been hitting all game. I'm just trying to kind of convince him. So I try to run up on him, close out. He was just catching and shooting the whole game. Not this time. When I went out, he tried to go a little bit. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm doing this. Nigga stops and does one of those. We in the 8th grade. I'm started playing basketball in the 7th grade. I learned quick, but I'm like, I ain't never got hit with nothing like that. I was like, so I'm recovering. He's shooting now. I intentionally push him in his chest. He's faced up. I'm like, fuck it. Push him. He fall through. He lands on the ground. I'm not even looking at the hoop. I'm looking at him now because I'm like, fuck it. Smack. Crowd go crazy. Hey, what? I'm sitting here like, hell no. Coach B, Mike Uncle was the coach. You can ask him about this.
Oh, Brian.
I came over there, sit down. He was like, hey, it's all right, man. He do that to everybody.
Not that he was conditioned for it already.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, that hurt.
Do that to
That hurt. That was embarrassing, bro.
And for y'all his age, because he been playing up his whole life. So y'all all his age. He really.
Once again, I don't know why I went to Washington, but that's just where it was. I mean, but Washington was a big part of my development though. You're the only one here. Drop you off and figure it out. You know what I mean? Survival of the fittest. Can you be a leader? I kind of learned how to lead a little bit. And 8th grade year, my mom recorded everything. I averaged 25.
Don't tell me you got that game recorded.
No.
Okay, good.
Somebody has it. I think Tyshawn had it recorded.
Tyshawn? Oh, yeah. Damn. He was on his,
Me and him have the same birthday. And his people was there with the birthday cake and everything.
I'm about to ask him.
My mom was working and my dad didn't show up. I have no family there. So I'm on one. It's my birthday. And I'm watching him with his people and they, you know what know what I mean, showing him love. I said, no, it's over with. I think we might have won 3 games that whole year, and that was one of them.
Yeah, junior high, that's different type of basketball. It's Murray and Ramsey. Oh. That's who the top team.
Hey, I still have nightmares of Ramsey.
Yeah, I'd hate it. Yeah.
Full court, as soon as I touch it, it didn't matter. I could have 3 dudes under the basket. They getting the ball off my hands regardless.
Yeah, you had probably the whole Central team on you.
And then Murray, that was just it got
a mixture of everybody.
My homies was cheering for me whenever I scored. They used to beat us so bad. Them 2 middle schools.
Speaking of all that, who was the toughest player you ever played against in the state here?
High school?
Yep. If you got another one, yeah. Whoever. High school.
So, okay, in high school, some of the toughest dudes from Minnesota, I think Zach Lofton, very tough.
Tough.
We were all the same age, but Zach just was like, I'm gonna put the ball through the hoop no matter what. You want me to shoot a 3? Shoot a lay? I mean, and I played with Zach. Yeah. But Zach played, for a lot of teams, and rightfully so. Everybody wanted Zach on their team.
Yeah.
And he was one of the toughest. Like, I'm gonna score. Eston was one of those guys. I always played with him, but just the battles in practice. Eston was so skilled, and I thought Eston was ahead of his time. The way he developed so early. I mean, in his career at Johnson speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And his college career, them 2 come to mind like some of the toughest dudes that I had to go against.
No, them dudes is crazy, for real. You talk about one that's, overseas like you know what I'm saying? And like you said, Eston's resume, even college,
Eston's one of them dudes. He do one of these and make 10 threes in a row. You know what I mean? Eston's one of them dudes. You know what I mean? It was just like a talent just coming out his pores. Marvin Singleton.
Yo.
He was just a man child.
From Hopkins, yo.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Marvin.
He was the first dude, and I'm like, yo, he's how old? He got to be held back. Or he was one of those check his birth certificate type of dudes.
Facts.
I was just like, I didn't understand how you could be that big at 6th grade, slapping glass on layups.
I remember when we ran into him.
Like,
I wish he wasn't by himself. He got a funny memory. I'm like, boy, when you ran into us back in the boy, I got dubbed. What did you talking about? You was nice.
He said you was nice.
He's like, who was this? Okay, he young too, playing up. All right, yeah.
Sure.
He gonna be a problem. Like when we ran into young guys, we knew certain young guys was gonna be, all right, he young, okay. So when he get older, but right now,
he said, "Nah."
Right now it's us. We don't care. You by yourself. They can't get you the ball all the time. Maybe sometimes, but they're trapped.
He said that's gonna be limited. It's gonna be real limited.
Throw that lob. We're intercepting that. We're going fast break. So you're dubbed. So
for sure. But he was definitely one of those
man child.
Nah, we ain't letting him get off. Don't even let him touch it.
No.
But those 3 dudes, them the first guys
that kind of come to mind.
City who come to mind like, yo, he was nice early.
And that's crazy because you played in the ProAm, and that's kind of what you played in the Twin Cities ProAm. You played in it 3 times? You played in it every year they had it?
I've been playing in it back when it was in De La Salle.
Oh, the old joint. Yep.
I've been, I want to say 5-6 summers since I've been back. Really.
Okay.
Since I came back from college, I didn't play for 2 years. They started it back.
How you feel about the new rebrand of it being at Mini High Academy? Because I've been seeing you playing that one a lot, been doing your thing. How do you feel about the competition?
Okay, so I think it's evolving, right? Back when it was at De La Salle, it was more grittier, it was tougher. A lot more people wanted to play in it. It transitioned to Mini High, and I think it was the perfect location, St. Paul, Minneapolis. But the biggest thing about it was the players. And the people who ran teams. That's one thing people don't talk about with the ProAm. Who has a team? Not even the guys who were in it, but who has a team sets the tone. And as the years progress, they've done a great job on building it.
Yeah.
Social media, sponsors, some of the special guests that come. The people who are in charge of ProAm are doing their due diligence on making it evolve and grow every summer. Now, I think was kind of this past summer why a lot of people didn't really enjoy it because it's becoming more business-oriented. They're letting businesses become in charge of who has a team. And so these businesses just want the the promotion, obviously, and so they pick guys who they want to run the team. And some of the decisions they're making on players, a lot of really talented guys didn't play this summer.
Oh man, I know.
A lot of pros. I mean, a lot of guys are getting older. I know personally, a lot of pros couldn't make it. Family stuff, long seasons overseas. I'm cool on the Pro-Am this summer. Some dudes got married, kids. Pro-Am, I ain't gonna lie, the Pro-Am was a little slow this year.
It was.
I mean, I left early. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't even. I mean, when we was hooping, my team was 6-0. We was number 1. Then I leave to go to France. Then the special guests get to come, and then this guys got to leave.
Right.
And I don't want this to sound crazy, but a lot of teams had the wrong guys on them. A lot of D3 kids, no disrespect to them, but that replaced a lot of pros.
Right.
And I think a lot of people were coming to me like, yo, the Pro-Am, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, the Pro-Am ain't what? Like, it's not cracking. And I'm like, it's really the rosters. You got a lot of people, it was the first time having
I'm surprised I haven't seen like some of the St. Thomas guys there, like a Kendall or.
But you know what? I can't say this for certain, but they on campus grinding.
Yeah.
They probably not even thinking about it. Maybe.
And a lot of kids want to play.
Instead of getting them D3 players, like you can go and get a Kendall
But
Blue.
also, I know you have to have like certain rules and stuff for certain college kids to play. So I know that's the thing because I know who run the digs and them other guys with them. The Pro-Am kind of was a rough year, but I mean at the same time overall it wasn't the best. But then you saw what Antoine did. Yeah. Tyus Jones.
Shout out to Antoine, man.
Up and all the special guests.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens next summer. I'm playing for sure because I'm a little salty. I ain't lose a game last summer. I leave and then it went downhill from there. So.
That's how it be, man.
Hopefully the Pro-Am could get back to what it was because, when it's live and the right dudes play and the right crowd come, and you hear dudes talking in the stands, you hear players going back and forth. Of course, no fighting or nothing.
Yeah, it's all bad. Yeah.
It's a game.
In most Pro-Ams, I've done my fair share of traveling. It's not like that everywhere. So I want the Pro-Am to kind of get back to that little gritty and dudes going back and forth. And even when the NBA guys come, they know it ain't sweet. Even with this dude who no one knows who he is, but he gonna compete regardless of who he play against. So I think that part of the Pro-Am definitely needs to get back to what it used to be.
Yeah, it definitely got Hollywood mainstream.
And I get it for sure. Yeah, I did.
So we've been speaking on him here and there, but I already know how big Raijon Kelly Sr. was in your life. You know what I'm saying? But let's big him up a little bit. So you know what I'm saying. I want to talk about him because he was the director at Jim Lee for a long time. Him and my dad, used to be in that little corner office running things, putting kids out, setting kids straight. But really, they was up there as guidance for a lot of kids. They coached a lot of kids from youth all the way up until high school type of thing. So a lot of kids, pay a lot of homage to both your grandpa and my dad because of those things. And then, of course, he was a former ABA player. All right, can you list who he played for in the ABA?
Minnesota Condors, Pittsburgh Condors. He played for the Indiana Pacers. He played semi-pro here for the Pillsbury Kings.
Okay.
He went overseas. Played in, I think his team was located. I can't remember where they were located, but he played in a couple countries. Mm-hmm. So he didn't have a long playing career because of his knee. I mean, to speak on him as an athlete, he got invited to the Team USA Olympic tryouts. Yeah. He was a decathlon athlete. So, major athlete.
So he get it in track and field, everything.
All-American in college.
Yeah.
Pro, obviously.
Where'd he go to college?
Lincoln University in Nebraska.
Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay.
So, he made the Hall of Fame there. I think he was the leading scorer when he left. Like I said, All-American, got drafted.
So it's in your DNA, man. It all makes sense, you know. But I mean, you still had to work for it. I'm not gonna say it's like because I know some people. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Yeah, that's just right there. Like when you see that and you got to look up to that. That's less.
Yeah, like how
he like cradled. You know what I mean? Like he guided
the future.
Like molded you.
No, for sure. And it's like, and he's also like, even when I introduce myself to people or I'm somewhere and people are like, oh. Raijon Kelly, you know Arrested Kelly? No, it's my grandpa. Between the ages of 30 to 60, everyone, Mr. Kelly meant so much to me. Jimmy Lee Rec Center was the teen center, coming in there with the free lunch, and I played so many sports and it's like, you know, I hold that for me personally is like a sense of pride. Like, you know, I gotta come out here and act right because my grandpa. Too many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It means something. His name means something. So out of respect to him, and of course, like, OG, don't play that. And he got a lot of people's respect. I walked in a lot of places and walked out with something free. People showing me love just off the strength of, I'm the grandson.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It was for him, he's everything for me because he set me up perfect and he pushed me through, you know what I mean, to where I am now, honestly. So,
right.
How many years did he play professional?
I want to say like 5 or 6 years.
5, 6 years, okay, yeah, for sure.
Got that knee drained too many times, cut his career short.
Yeah.
But and people still talk to me to this day, man, when I was young, your grandpa used to play night moves and he used to just shoot from half court. And I still get stories from when he played at the rec center, like, I'm talking about older, got gray hair, even some women. Kendall Blue's mom.
Yeah.
I met her. 20-minute conversation about my grandpa.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I wear this sweater. He designed it. You know what I mean? So, like, when I wore this on purpose because, like, Jimmy Lee, for me, is everything. The daycare, you know what I mean? The first, I learned how to shoot in that gym. He taught me. So, my grandpa is Mount Rushmore, Jimmy Lee, if you ask me.
Like, he used to have us working. It'd be my dad. Or sometimes he'll be bored. I'll be in there sitting in the office. He'd be like, "Lil Dusty, come on, we going to the gym." I used to be like, I don't know how, but you worse than Pops.
He said,
But it ain't like he worse, but it's just like he in there and he demanding like, do it like this. And it's getting you better. It's work. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you kind of worse than Pops.
And I feel like I had a cheat code when it comes to basketball. It's a discipline thing.
Yeah.
To be 10 years old and you stand under the rim and you shoot the same form shot for an hour. And if you're tired, switch hands. We're going to keep going. So for him, I like him and my dad, you know what I mean? It's like new, old, like I give them all the praise they, you know what I mean? Because they swirled it together and I'm the product of it. So like forever grateful for them too.
That's big, man. That's big.
It worked out.
I could say my dad, but I say Chris Carr.
Ooh,
43 hoops.
43 hoops.
Yeah.
Chris Carr was like the first dude to introduced 2-a-days.
Yeah.
To really give me like a set schedule and like be on time. Like real discipline. Like he had that NBA background and kept it real with you and traveled the country and he showed me how to network and he let me live in his basement when I was playing AAU for him. Like Chris Carr, like I still hit him up on Instagram. Like, people know CC, you know what I mean? Back gyms. Practices, he used to get all the guys who graduate college. We got 2 practices and we playing 5-on-5 and I got to pick up full court. I got 2 left feet when I'm 16 because I'm still grown, but he don't care. You know what I mean? Like pushing me through. So like Chris Carr, like I love Chris Carr for sure. He was just like a genius with it. Like it was a science watching him like maneuver, and I was like, no, respect. Like I want to coach, and he played a part in that. Like, for sure.
Because this is how you do it right here. Like you really translate it from how you got it, and then translate it to help me get there. Yeah. Like that's how you do it.
And people, if you were fortunate enough to go through that 43 hoops gym.
Oh yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
No,
that joint is beautiful.
That was like, all right.
Shout out to
Leon.
Leon.
Here, we getting shots up, we warming up, we practicing, and we about to lift. I'm like, what you mean? Like, no, we're about to lift after practice. That's the morning. Y'all about to go outside, run this parking lot, and then you about to play 5-on-5 against a grown man. And then we about to go to Indiana for the July live period, and we finna hoop all month. Yep. And I seen him phone calls with coaches, and he juggling 2 phones at once, trying to this kid get an offer. He trying to get this kid an offer. He trying to get these 2 together at a school. He don't even play for him, but he pushing, helping this kid. Like, no,
yeah,
for sure. Like, Chris deserved.
He was official though. I ain't gonna lie.
He was super.
He was thorough, and Chris ain't played no games either though. So like, he kept it real. Like,
shout out to him. I ain't never seen that man without wearing a straw hat though. Like the little string hats, you know, the hats with the strings. He always wore one of those every time I seen him. I'm like, bro, he got like 80 of them joints.
He was just like,
had his own little swag. Yeah, he was cool.
He was cool.
Yeah,
his swag was through the roof.
Like how he used to even talk, like it should just be like say something smooth and then just go
just
back
disappear.
To
yeah,
or just like when I first talked to him, he was sitting next to Al. I was watching like a younger 43 Hoops team. It was him and Al sitting next to each other. So I walked up, said what up to Al. I think it was like Lil Ro and them was playing. Or Lil Ro and them. That's what it was. I knew Lil Ro already, so I was talking stuff to Lil Ro, and they was talking stuff to me like, he better than you already. I'm like, man, he get smoked. Rose probably ended up being better than me, but at that time, he was getting smoked. So I'm like, nah. But then he grew though. But then I'm just talking, so Chris Carr just adding in his words every time. Anybody play for me, they definitely better than you. They're going back, I'm like, he over there whooping. That's crazy. But then we just had like some real basketball conversation after all the junk. And as we was watching the game, like you could just tell like his intellect. He was just like, you know, I can't remember verbatim, but I just remember like how we was just talking about the game and he was saying this and that and just going over everything that was happening. And I was just like, dang, he intelligent, he's smart. And that whole time, I didn't even know he was Chris Carr though. He was just sitting next to
didn't even
Al.
know he
So
was.
I'm thinking he was just somebody else that coach. Yeah, and then Tate told me like, oh, that was Chris, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that was Chris. Oh, I'd have been trying to get a picture or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Chris was one of them coaches like, he taught me how to come off a ball screen.
Yeah.
Watch me now. That's my
automatic.
I get paid to come off ball screens, like not even to.
It's Don DeMarco. You heard he said, man. I get paid to come off ball screens.
Get on one more time.
Make that a shirt, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you ain't gonna drop a bar like we ain't gonna stop,
need
man.
To make that a shirt.
We need to make that a shirt.
I'm putting that on the sweater.
I was a Ben Gordon type of guy, so I like that logic. I ain't get paid to do it, but hey, I love to do it.
I'm putting it on the sweater.
But no, Chris, like, no, put your shoulder down and like break it down. Like I swear, it was like a poetry, scientific. Like he was an artist. Come off the screen. Troy Hudson dip his shoulder and come off, and you let him miss. So you come in, and it's just like he's visualizing the game as he's talking, and then I'm playing, and then it was just like, no, this dude. Like I went out of my way to play for him. Like I had no business driving 45 to an hour to go to practice 2 times a day just to play for him. But I was like, you can't pass that up.
It was a good opportunity.
He was like, no, I can't. Every AAU team.
That's a professional pipeline, man. He played for the Wolves. He was in the dunk contest, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also that gym was rocking. I mean, Elder, you seen it when you was 17, but the dudes before, even the younger teams, like that was a factory when 43 Hoops was really at its peak. I remember even the Tuck, that crew he had.
Oh yeah.
Come on, dog. I gotta play for that. You know what I mean? I gotta. My big thing is always to test myself playing up, even picking Sanford. So like 43 Hoops was like, it's the tougher decision, but sink or swim. You know what I mean? How my dad taught me, you got it or you don't.
Speaking of just going back to just pro stuff and everything, man, what is the hardest part about playing basketball overseas? Like and I want you to answer this like from a basketball standpoint and off the court standpoint.
Okay, so on the court, you definitely, it's a discipline. I mean, you have to do what you get paid to do. Whether you're a foreigner or local, it don't matter. But as an American overseas, there's that added pressure. You could be averaging 30, still get sent home because your team's in last place, and guys 10 through 6 don't care about basketball. It don't matter, but they're from there. They're going to stay. You average 30, it doesn't matter. You get sent home or you're fired. So the added pressure of being overseas on the court as a foreigner is tough. You got to be able to be mentally tough. You got to always like just stay locked into what you get paid to do, what they brought you for. You get brought if you get brought to play defense, you better play the best defense. Or that door open, who's that? And you had that meeting and then you out the door. And I've seen situations, been in situations, you'll practice with the dude replacing you.
Seriously. He's right there and he's just like, okay, yeah, so
the team will negotiate with your agent, kick you out. He'll have your apartment, drive your car, swinging door.
Wow.
So overseas, it can be cutthroat if you let that pressure get to you. You know what I mean? It's not easy. A lot of guys say like, "Oh man, just go overseas and get buckets, dog." Like, respect. Like, you got some game for sure, but it's like on the court in itself. I ain't even talking off the court yet, but on the court is like, yo, can you handle 4 of your teammates don't know English? How can you, as a floor general, as a bucket getter, as a defender, anything, how can you manage being on they can't speak good English and they can't articulate what they want you to do?
Right.
Your coach might not know English that well, and the assistant coach has to translate. How are you? Your coach is going on a rant, cussing everybody out. Your teammate has to translate for you in your ear. So, you know what I mean? Like, the dynamic of just the basketball court.
Yeah.
And, of course, you got to be a professional. You got to be on time. And if you're not, they're going to find you. You 2 minutes late. I couldn't read the signs because it's in a different language. Well, that's cool, but you owe us 50 euros. You owe us $100. You got to buy dessert or snacks, or you got to buy beers for every player and the managers and the staff because you was late.
That's wicked.
To a film
That's
session you were
crazy.
2 minutes for. You didn't know where it was at. You can't read the door signs.
That's crazy.
That's experience right there. That happened to you?
Yeah, does that happen?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know what? But you know what? I was in Portugal, the EC. I didn't know where the film room was. We were in the hotel, and I weaved all through that hotel. Looked at my watch. I was 2 minutes late, and I had to pay like 50 euros. And I'm yelling, "Yo, where y'all at?" I'm on the wrong floor. Find it somehow. I don't know.
That's next level.
Like there's a discipline, you know what I mean, with it. And off the court, can you be away from your family?
Right.
Can you manage being literally dropped in the city? And after you get done playing, you got to be able to drive yourself home. Are you going to be able to eat? Can you cook? Can you manage? You know what I mean? You going to save your money?
Right.
What currency you playing in? Do you even have the right sockets to plug to charge your phone in? You know what I mean? Like, what food you going to eat? You can't be no picky eater, eat McDonald's every day.
Yeah, cook.
You really got to cook.
Better know how to
man.
cook.
You got to know how to cook. Yeah.
Or, like, look, you want to drive, you got to read these street signs.
This is the stuff that a lot of people don't think about.
but
You know what I'm saying? Because
But if you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly,
So a lot
exactly.
of people, and not that I know it all, but people come to me and ask, and I'll try to break it down. Like,
no, you've been playing basketball since you graduated. You never stopped.
I'm going on year 9, but it's like I tell guys.
Don
like,
DeMarco for the year 9. We do shout outs over. We gotta do another one now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, but it's like you each one teach one mentality that I have. So like, you know what I mean, make sure that plugs you got. You know what I mean, make sure you get a VPN, bring your Netflix, read a book. You know what I mean, go hang out with your teammates. It's a totally different lifestyle, and for me, I sought after it. Of course, every young dude want to go to the league. I interviewed my grandpa in the 7th grade, and he was describing his playing career. And he was like, "Man, I went to Belgium, Switzerland, and he's naming these countries he's played in and all the things he did." And I was like, "Man, I traveled the world, and it was a great time." And I'm like, "Dang, traveling, that sounds fire." And he was like, "Yeah, and basketball did that for me." And I swear in the 7th grade, like a light went off and was just like, I told him like, "Oh, I want to play overseas too." And like, that was me like, so me playing overseas, people like, "Why don't you play G League?" Or, you know,
I want to travel.
I like this overseas grind. Like,
and I always wanted to ask you that, because like I swear, like, we seen a lot of people who we come out the state who has talent who end up playing overseas, but initially they tried to go to the league. You always was focused on overseas from the jump.
I mean, who don't like traveling?
Yeah.
So here was my perspective.
That's deep right there.
Who doesn't like traveling? And then somebody's gonna pay me to travel. I get to go and work in a country, but you're paying me to be here. So I don't get to just vacation in Italy for 2 weeks. I live there.
Right.
I don't get to just see Switzerland weaving through the train. I lived in Geneva, Fribourg, Massagno. Okay, bet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, overseas was like, that's all. I always wanted to do that. So, like.
Who had the best food?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah,
let's get into it. Because
France got that.
France.
Thought about
Portugal is very underrated.
Okay.
Switzerland has the best quality food because, you know what I mean?
Swiss, yeah.
By the book in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played in a couple countries, so I got to, you know what I mean? But
those are the top three for sure.
So what's the pregame meal? What we was eating out there? We had some pasta or steak, some steak gorgonzola.
LD got this on this.
So look though, being out there, you learn. You know, everybody got their rotation of what they cook.
Yeah.
So for me, mixed bag, like mixed veggies.
Okay.
Like some couscous.
Yeah.
And some chicken.
Okay.
So you know,
something to keep it real basic.
But once again, you go to these other countries and you get to trying food. And
the food's different, right?
Man, but it's healthier.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's different, like in a good way. Yeah.
McDonald's over here and McDonald's over there, night and day. Popeyes over there, yeah. Popeyes here, yeah, it's cool. KFC here, ain't nobody doing that. KFC over there, I can't get enough of it.
Yeah,
but you feel me? Like just in Europe, I mean, and it's like, I don't know who I was talking to, and I was just like, yo, like, since I graduated college, I've spent more of my adulthood in Europe than back here. So it's like, like I really enjoy that, and like, I'm at the point now where I'm trying to bring people out to see me. I mean, like the best thing, like out of my favorite moment out of my pro career, I brought my mom to Israel with me for New Year's.
That's dope right there, for real.
That's
you know what
hard.
I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's dope.
And this was like, for me, it was just like, had my best game there. She was there.
Yeah.
The organization showed her love. She sat front row, court side. Had her in the Airbnb. Right, and I was driving her everywhere, taking her to the beach. She picked up seashells New Year's Eve.
That's hard. Yeah, that's hard.
Like, I'm like, that means something to me. You feel me? Like, yeah, I'm living my dreams, and St. Paul to the death of me, because everyone bigs me up and respect. But it's like, now I'm like, nah, like I'm trying to pull people. No, come see this. Come see it. Asking me, come see it.
Come see the rest of the world.
So like, bringing my mom out there, that was everything.
I'm coming.
I got
a passport, cuz.
I tell people.
Oh yeah, facts.
I get 2-bedroom apartments. I got an extra bedroom. Come through. You feel me? Like,
hey, listen to me.
I ain't gonna feed you, but
I was gonna say, figure it out. Yeah,
don't come broke.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I ain't coming alone though.
Do your thing, baby. Hey.
Okay. As long as I can bring
I don't know.
a she-male guest. No,
if you bring a guest, I don't know if you could be in the crib because I can't listen to that, and then I'm sitting there.
No, respect. I won't be doing none of that.
I can't be shitting in my own crib.
No, I wouldn't do none of that.
Niggas going to Bible study. That's it. It's just Bible study.
No, I wouldn't even do none of that in the crib. We just there for a couple of days, watch the game. We can get back. Self-control.
So, like, one of the last things I was going to ask you before we get you out of here, man, and was just knowing what you know now, everything, because I know you kind of just, you know, the situation with your mom, bringing her out there, the experience of that, knowing everything you know now, would you still do everything exactly the same?
No. If I'm being 100% honest, no.
What would you do different?
My college situation would have been a little different.
Why did you choose that?
Let's get into that last one.
Stanford University was one of the schools that stuck with me the longest.
Okay.
It also helped they was Division I.
Right.
If I had passed my ACT that little first go round, I don't know how to say it, but that early period,
semester or whatever, trimester,
yeah, the first
that
signing
early
period.
time.
Oh, the first signing. Okay, got you.
If I had got the ACT over with, I had a lot of options, a lot of meetings, a lot of coaches came to Cretin. You know what I mean? Like, but I had to. You know what I mean? I wasn't passing it. I had to take it. That's third time. Got it. Stanford stuck with me the whole way. I wanted to leave Minnesota. As much as I respect the NSIC, I just thought survival of the fittest. So I got to go Division I.
Hold that thought real quick. Did the U of M ever, the Gophers, did they ever recruit you? Oh, my God.
But I'm not gonna knock him for that because the player I wasn't physically
You wasn't there yet
for the Big Ten, and what made a lot of schools kind of the skill set says high major, high mid major maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, D2 physically.
Got you.
I didn't stop growing until I was a sophomore in college.
Right.
So I can't knock them for that. I mean, I'm not a big dude anyway. But, I mean, think about it. If you still growing until your sophomore year and coming out of high school, I understood why the U of M didn't want me.
I don't.
From a skill set.
they looking at
No
it as-
disrespect to this man. And I know because it's like a role thing. Because I was going, I get it, 1,000%. Like Joe Coleman, athlete. I know that's why he was on the team. It wasn't for basketball skills. No disrespect.
The way, and I played against Joe multiple years. He was nice, but he was so physically gifted.
Athlete, yeah.
And you're just like
The
you don't see that
potential.
every day.
That's
That's always going to be the potential.
we watch it now from the draft.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys know you guys go to these high schools. The rankings.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the radar next episode.
So if you give me a sixth grade kid that's touching the rim, I might move him up on that list because he's ready. He could go play varsity now.
Yeah.
That
I get it. It makes sense.
kid,
Yeah.
That's a skill set. He physically, it don't, the eye test.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I don't blame the U. All the schools. I mean, I had some really good interests, but it was always, physically he ain't there yet.
What school would you go to if it wasn't?
If I didn't go there,
Yeah.
probably Mankato.
Okay.
Really?
Mankato was a Division I school.
Shout out to them. That boys and girls just won the whole national
nice.
last
Very
year.
nice.
Both. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So look, even when I'm about to leave Sanford after my junior year, they calling me again, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta go D2 because back then the transfer portal ain't what it is now. You got to sit out. I was gonna go to Gardner Webb and transfer, sit out and play, but I'm like, I gotta get to the bread.
Yeah.
School sucks. I can graduate on time. I'm trying to get this over with.
Get to overseas.
So I'm like, all right, then it's gonna be D2. Mankato was once again top of the list. I just couldn't come back to Minnesota.
Right.
Yeah.
My big thing when it was college, I got to get nothing wrong with Minnesota. I love Minnesota. Got St. Paul tatted on me. I got to go out, experience
Don
more.
DeMarco for that one. That's how we do it up here.
But
Don.
I just wanted to experience, you know what I mean? And Sanford's in Birmingham, Alabama. I've been there before. I have family down there. So Sanford was just like, I get to test my game. The school itself was, but it was just about the competition. And like, you got it or you don't. And I went there and handed it on.
Man, it looked like it paved out and it worked for you, so it looked like you made the right choice. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know what you just said. It kind of goes against that, but at the end of the day,
but it's like at the same time, though, like and y'all went to school. Some of the toughest times you have, and me being 31, some of the toughest times I had was in college.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And I pulled myself all the way to the bottom of the USA in Alabama from Minnesota, solo. So it's like, yeah, I'm going through it. I'm broke. Okay, figure it out. And I set myself up for that. And like, yeah, a different school, different experience would have been nice, but like, some of them tough times, them like conversation, to call your mom, like, man, this, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And my mom being a soldier, do you know my mom?
Oh, for sure.
You ain't coming back here. So, click. Damn.
Got to figure it out.
All right. Guess I'll be going to school tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to class on Monday. Yeah. So, it was just like, yeah, Sanford, I probably would made a different decision, but I can't really regret it because, like you said, it paid off, man. Them tough ass times, them tough coaches, the scheduling, the injuries, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the grades, the academics. It worked itself out.
All right, man. That's real. In closing, real quick, man, just let us know.
We can't close it.
We can't.
Because we got to have a conversation.
Talk to me.
So y'all are here. Obviously, y'all got y'all's thing. Y'all, and I know y'all watch a lot of games. And I've seen you record games.
Yeah.
So y'all really outside. So tell me, in LD, AAU.
Yes.
So tell me, like, as a guy who's not really home often, like, in the way the whole NIL and everybody critiques the kids and it's a different atmosphere, it's a new age. Like, what do y'all think, like, the future of Minnesota basketball looks like?
I think it's getting as big as it's ever been right now as far as, like, a popularity standpoint, I'm not gonna say you could say talent, but I always feel like we always had talent in the state. It's just now we're just able to see it. But I think it's getting big. I think it's getting huge. I think even what we're doing is helping. Even people that's been just straight up covering just the highlights and stuff. Shout out to And1, Fresh Coast, a lot of those. We respect their work and they respect our work. That's why I'm like, so I think honestly it's gonna get big. I have my own thoughts about the NAI stuff because I feel like I don't like it in recruiting. It's weird. It kind of makes college like sport like the pros now.
College always been that. Like
no, but like
a business.
No, facts. I'm just saying though, like if it's abused, it's like everything's a good idea until it gets overly abused, and then sometimes you see players they're not even caring about the college. No, it's just about what was this bag like, and I'm like, to me, I get it, but I like that can't be everybody's mentality though.
But Wayne, that bag's always been there.
No, I ain't saying it's not. I just feel like me personally,
I feel like now is. Everyone knows what you got offered. What did you get offered? We don't know, but you got offered because why did you come here? So I know, and now I act like I don't know.
I don't want to see a top-ranked player go to a weak school just because the weak school is giving him the most bread. I want to see high-end. That's all I'm on.
They was doing that before.
But I'm talking about like top teams though. Like who? Like who was like a guy that's like a real high recruit? He went to a random team where it's like, what the fuck? Like
Anthony Edwards.
He wasn't really. I don't think he was really that big coming out of. Because I didn't hear.
He was the number one player in the country.
Yeah, but I didn't hear. But I'm saying I didn't really hear about him until like literally that year.
Number one player. That man was going crazy.
So that's why I'm.
But I'm saying I didn't hear about him until like until he started killing in Georgia. Like really, like that was like when I'm like, okay, this is Ant Edwards, and I was like out of touch from high school ball, but. That's one guy, and I don't think he even went there like under those type of, you know what I'm saying? He probably just, yeah.
No, Michael Beasley went to Kansas State for no reason. OJ Mayo ain't had no business going to
USC is a powerhouse. That was still a.
No, but that came out.
I'm saying though, but still like that's still like a relevant school though. USC, like when it comes to basketball and stuff, like they still a big school relevant. I just think now, a lot of it just ruined it because it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm looking at it.
But also,
shout out to everybody that's getting they bag that deserve it. But a lot of that stuff is just kind of.
But doesn't it bring? Don't you like? Balance to college basketball.
That's what I'm saying. I want a balance. I feel like it's becoming unbalanced now with all this stuff, kind of.
But I don't know because Cinderella teams now they're starting to be 2 or 3 Cinderella teams in the tournament now, compared to years past.
We gotta wait like 10 years to do that math because the NIL stuff just kind of came in like fresh, like what 2-3 years.
But think about it though, if all these upsets aren't really upsets, these non-conference games. Real competitive nowadays compared to the past.
We talking about basketball or football now? Basketball. Okay, because now I was gonna say
I'm nothing on football. Because I was gonna I'm nothing on football, but basketball. It seemed to me NIL all it did is like even the playing field out and the transfer portal, of course.
You like the transfer protocol?
I love it.
Why would I hold a kid back from playing just because he was in a bad
situation? I think kids should be able to transfer if they want to, but every kid where it's like. Oh yeah, I don't like the way this coach talked to me. I'm transferring. Like it kind of creates that narrative that if things ain't going right, the one like for example, like your situation when you said you called down and you was like I don't know about this, and my dude's like figure it out, hang up. Imagine if you and I'm just using you as an example. Imagine if you would have say you had the opportunity to actually transfer somewhere, you go somewhere and then it end up being 10 times worse, or it could be 10 times better. I'm looking at the overall balance of. The amount of kids that's quick to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm looking at it as. I like the opportunity, the fact that they can be able to do that without getting in trouble. Yeah, that's cool, no doubt. I'm looking at it just from when it's happening too much, when it's getting abused, that's where I'm like,
But I also think we have to hold the coaches accountable, too.
No, everybody should be held accountable. I'm just talking about the overall when it gets overly. That's all I'm on, yeah. Okay. I get it 1,000%. I'm just looking at because we all know there's examples of people who try to you don't fit that story. Your story ain't his story. I make sense for him to do that, but you just want to do that because you can do that. Don't mean you should do that, and it's might backfire. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'll be trying to follow those stories where I'm like,
there's gonna be stories that backfire, but those are gonna be minimal compared to the ones that work out. It's already been there.
Well, like I said, you had to talk about that in 10 years because it kind of just started 3 years ago. It got to add up for it.
But I also am curious.
Oh, it's been happening already because it's been them players that's been transferring from.
Still got to wait.
Like
if you're gonna do a full analyst on it, you got to wait 10 years for the data to get there. It's like 3 years in though.
But if there's still players that's transferring from like small schools, like the Dalton Connect, right? He just transferred from a small school to a bigger school that worked out for him. It's gonna be minimal.
Yeah, these are individuals though. We have to look at it's a whole things of people that transfer who we don't even really know their name. Like you got to think.
I hear what you said.
Yeah, that's that's all I'm saying.
Get my little point out.
No, I hear it. That's all.
But and then so it's always gonna be right. It's always gonna work. Everything you just got to be percentages though.
And then I got another one. With this being a Twin Cities podcast, and y'all are obviously tapped in. What do y'all think of like? Articulate this like once again it's about the kids, right? Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about the parents and some of these adults around, because basketball in college, of course, and the amount of money we hear NBA players get, how do y'all see like the parents around youth sports nowadays?
At all time,
some of them be unrealistic, but some of them are better these days. I've been seeing a lot more parents be a little bit more engaged and making sure that they're like making sure that their child is getting the proper development and not just putting it all on the coaches, because that's where sometimes the things go wrong. Like when I was coaching, I had some parents talking to me, but then I told them like, you can come sit and practice if you want. Now one parent came to practice though, so I'm like, okay, well, just stop talking to me, please, because I'm telling you can come to practice. So that's the thing. I think some of them be unrealistic sometimes, and it's like, calm down. It's 3rd, 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to the NBA tomorrow, okay? Create little Timmy a mixtape. That's cool, but
I was just at Jimmy Lee.
Yeah.
Watching one of my little cousins. Rec ball. 5th grade, I think.
No, I know what game you're talking about.
Ooh. The parents, like, I just wonder, like, y'all see it more.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. It's to be totally honest, it really is like that at those younger games. Like high school is gonna be high school, but like at those games, those ages, that's where it gets a little bit where it's like, fam, y'all care more about this than the kids do, and that kind of goes into where y'all remember the football player a couple years ago at the youth football game, had little kids. Bro, I forgot his name. His brother-in-law ended up shooting somebody. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel y'all remember if I say the guy's name. I forgot his name. He used to play for the Broncos, I think. But, it was a crazy situation like that. So, that can happen with that. I don't really see that much in high school, but I guess that depends on what game you go to. But I feel like high school's a little bit different because, for one, the boys is there, so people don't want to go to jail. But them little league games, they get out of hand, bro. It definitely could get out of hand. But that just goes from a lot of them parents, they didn't play basketball or they didn't play a sport. Yeah. So they ain't got the discipline to they just know, that's my baby out there. I get it. I got family members that do that. I be having to tell them, like, bro, chill out. You ain't got to boo the other kid. Like, they be doing the most at times. So it's just like, I don't know.
Like, I'm just curious because it's like I want to coach when I'm done. And I'm just wondering how these parents are. Like, how these adults
that'd be a question for him, because he coaches. Yeah, he actually,
like, every time I turn around, there's a new AAU team. Another coach. There's another trainer. There's another trainer. And another coach. There's a new team. A rec center got 7 5 and under teams, and you're just like, I'm curious on just like the adults around the game, and
it's bad.
Well, I think it's the leagues as much as the adults. So it's all this participation. Like, we want everybody to participate. We want equal playing time now. Like, I referee a lot, so I do different leagues where there's like. They do, instead of like 20-minute halves, it's 8 periods of 5 minutes, and then you gotta sub each 5.
Whoa!
Period. Kids,
why everybody looking at you like we for real?
I'm just like, okay.
How long they been doing that for?
This has been going on for like the last 4 or 5 years. You already got kids. You can't press kids these days. We waking up 3rd and 4th grade. You're pressed. Okay, we don't care about your feelings. We're here to blow you out. And now you can't press kids. You got coaches that be complaining. Like that's why I said it's the coach, right? And the parents out there, like, they're fouling us. It's like, you're going to be 84-4. And you're a 3rd grade team.
Hey, man, they need something, man. You better give us these fouls, y'all.
You're not getting trapped, because you can't get trapped. They pretty much can't even play help side defense. If they come over too early, we got to blow whistle. Hey, you're too early, So you got to wait pretty much to get blown past for to be able to come play help side defense in most of these leagues. Some leagues will put in there like you can trap in the paint or whatever, so it's a little different. But some leagues be like, yeah, no help, no zoning. So you see kids too far away, more than an arm length or two away from their zoning. They need to get back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're in leagues like that, still getting blown out. For one, you need to be more realistic on why are you making your son wake up to come take this type of punishment, okay? It's early. Right? That's one. For two, what's wrong with developing, right? Everyone wants their kid to be a star right away. It's like, if your kid ain't ready to play, that's fine. Develop. Practice. Go shoot with them some more. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, or if you just want them to play and have fun, then make sure you're out there letting them play and have fun. Don't be yelling at me as a referee, as a coach, like you don't see that your kid is just out here trying to have fun. You might want him to be more, but you have to see what your kid wants. Like your kid just wants to have fun out here. It's clear. Let your kid have fun. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I did that for my little brother. I was on him, my little brother Halo. I was on him early, and then his coaches. You know, I got on the coaches. I'm like, what's going on? Y'all didn't let them get all these bad habits, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm working them out in the mornings. We waking up, high school. The coach, you know, I got a good relationship with the coach. So we early morning workouts. I'm like, we getting up at 6 a.m. I got to be at work, 7:45, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I got to work you out, then get to work. You know what I'm saying? So we putting in all this work. And I'm like, why I'm putting in all this work if you don't even really, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, and then I don't want you to feel like I'm going to stop loving you because – you know what I'm saying? You don't want to work? Nah, but if you just want to play basketball, have fun. Then go out there and have fun. I'm not going to kill the game for you. I'm not going to be just on you, yelling at you, or, you know what I'm saying, being unrealistic. Nah, you want to have fun playing the game, then have fun playing the game. Basketball might not be for you. That's fine. And I feel that some parents, like Wayne said, they're trying to force it up on their kids because they couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
how many people did we go to high school with that didn't play basketball that you see out here coaching teams and kids? And I'll be like, fam,
how many?
It's a lot of them. And I don't be trying to be disrespectful. I'm not.
How many of them became trainers?
Oh, it's a lot of them that's trainers. I call them late bloomers or Andre Ingrams. I like to be respectful because people know me. I talk a lot and I can go down that road, but I let people live. A lot of, you know what the problem is? The trainers, I get on that. Just because you play basketball at a certain time and you had maybe some high school success does not mean you need to be a trainer. That's how I feel about a lot of it. You need to be a top dude or dude.
We about to nerd out now because I got bet. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because it's just a lot of it that goes on that I personally don't like, and I think it just hurts everything. And you know, people walking around like thinking like I'm a trainer. Like, bro, you have a job and you need to work that damn job. Yes, you could train kids on the side if you want. That's the money you want to get. That's cool. But a lot of that is being kind of carried in, and it's like making them think like, what about the dudes that are real trainers? Like, they checks is from facilities and different clients and whatnot because they actually got the degrees to do that. You know, you can get a degree to be a trainer. It's not just you wake up, get a whistle, post some videos, and you're a trainer. So I've been had a problem with these Andre Ingrams. That's what I call them. But ran over.
I like that Andre Ingram one.
That's why they got called. They got to let it go.
Like, I just wonder, like, outside looking in, obviously, because I ain't here. But it's like, how can you... and this might sound bad, you weren't a skill guy. How can you teach skills? You weren't good. Like what? How can you, if you yourself couldn't produce at a certain level, a certain way, how can you teach it? You can't. You can talk about it. Maybe you can have an opinion on it. Maybe. I don't know. Have a good team. Maybe you can. Yeah. Like within the lines, drawing out of a stencil, you think I'm going to be an art teacher?
You got to have a good team when it's like that for sure. But some people don't have a good team.
That what he said too. Because I'm not gonna be like, I'm not one of those guys that be like, oh, just because you didn't play the game at a certain level, you don't know shit. I feel like that's just kind of closed minded because there's people that didn't play that wasn't as good and they know certain things. But
I feel that way with coaches.
Yeah.
Trainers
are.
You can't put two between the leg dribbles together. I'm telling you, bro, there's cats that didn't make the freshman team. Like, I'm talking about, like, ever. Like, they didn't even make, like, and I see them teaching kids, yelling at kids for missing layups. And I said, bro, it's crazy. And then it's almost like
the mechanic, you know how a woman goes and takes the car to get looked at, and the mechanic like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, the upcharger. It's kind of like that when this woman be like, I be seeing the girls be like, who could train my son? And I be seeing people, I'll be like, oh, hey, what? Listen.
Don't let that man train your son.
I'm only tagging. I tell him. I tag him twice, and I tell him, no, Dre Ellis. That's all you go to him. Go to Dre Ellis.
For sure.
If we mentioning trainers, respect to Quincy Caldwell.
Facts. Shout to yep, Rosemont. Yep, for sure.
Since I graduated college, Brian Sanford introduced us. Respect to him, yo.
For sure.
It's a lot of heavy hitters when it comes to that. Yeah, for sure. But it's just a lot of imposters. But
I just had to show my man love though.
We got to close real quick. In closing, man, what's going on overseas, man? How many years before you return? You still playing? What's going on, man?
I mean, I'm still playing. Like we talked off camera, I'm about to go to Belgium soon. Okay. Waiting on my flight, honestly. Year number 9, I'm going until. You know what I mean? Until I don't love it no more, honestly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the way this hoop thing going, I'm not slowing down either. Knees, ankles still feel good. Still love it. That it hasn't changed.
Send us some links. I'm trying to watch because I don't know because your game schedule. I know the time's probably gonna be mad different as whatnot. So like, what time do you typically play when it's like daytime for us here?
Like 1, 2 o'clock here.
Okay.
Where I'm going, 7-hour time difference.
Okay.
Back to what we talked about before. How you gonna handle that time difference with your people?
Right.
Yeah.
Call your girl. Hey, it's midnight. I just woke up. I gotta wait till she wake up. I gotta talk to mom when she get off work. I can't call because she at work. She can't get on her phone. My dad's busy. I can't.
That's next level.
Another thing, but like your people want to support you, watch games. They low key gotta sneak it on their phone to watch it and do their work if they can't. Like, so the time difference depends on where you at.
It's tough, man.
So some leagues you could watch it on YouTube. Some you gotta pay. Some you gotta have a certain link. It's one of them things, but
I'm finna come in person this year.
Bro, said I'm coming in person this year.
This overseas thing, man, I love it.
What they find?
Serious snitching.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, overseas, I'm still going. I ain't slowing down. Still gonna play in the ProAm.
All right, bet.
Ain't gonna slow. Even Rip City.
Oh yeah, shout out to Rip City. You know,
Rip City. So I'm still playing all that. So me hooping, man. I'm still pushing it, man.
All right, you heard it first, man. Young Kobe out. No, just playing.
Don't put that one.
I ain't gonna do that one. I already know. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing it forever.
You still think you can beat me in back and forth?
For sure.
That'd be a good game to play. We might have to find a gym and record that.
Hey, we still here, man. We can do it for content, man.
I don't want you to lose viewers, dog. Trying to, you know what I mean?
Oh shit!
I don't think you beat me too much in your life. Not no
here
back
we go.
And forth.
Here we go.
OD, you stopped playing in what? 6th grade? 5th grade?
I'm just saying.
Even then, but don't act like I was.
Nah, I ain't acting like that.
I'm just saying.
I'm not acting like that.
Back and forth was my game, so
it was. But it was all our games. But you know, a long range LD, I'm shooting that thing.
I'm pulling up from.
We both is.
3rd grade.
Hey man, we gotta get in the gym. We gonna get them in the gym. We gonna get
both
this. We gonna get this rock. Hey man, we can go to Jimmy
Wayne
Lee.
got to play too.
I'm shooting. What's up?
Get that in the gym for sure.
We get that in the gym.
In there.
We can get that. That's one thing I could do.
I could get a back and forth in.
Wayne, respect to you being benching 235 in the 9th grade. Respect.
Man,